limited parking, so we know our friends and fans like to wait on the outside and get themselves warmed up before they get into the inside. So we have adequate, almost unlimited parking for you at the Rochdale Center. Once again, the address 169-65 147th Avenue, Jamaica, Queens. And admission to this monumental and almost celebrated extravaganza, Calypso extravaganza, is only $40. For how many Calypsonians? 5 and 5 and 5, 15.
Let me ask a question, Wallace. How soon will tickets go on sale?
Tickets will be on sale from this week.
This week?
Yes, from this week.
All
tickets
right.
will be, I was assured by Anne-Marie that tickets will be on sale at the various box offices from this week. And also we want to remind you again, King Dice, Hunter, Scrunter, Daddy Chess, Observer, Tasha P, The Rabbit, Solo, one song from Solo Matt. Testing you one time, one song, 0 for that Mass in the Cemetery. Another one.
Give me a chance.
I give you another song from Solo. Let me see if you remember. Another song from Solo. Apart from Mass in the Cemetery. 0 again, Jenny Scandal. I'm going to give you one more chance again. Another song from Solo.
Oh my
Your last chance. 0 again, Simbot. The man cannot know about that, man, Thompson Fountain. The man who don't know about that. What song Val Young Bull got the road match for the first time? I'm through my pocket. 0 again. 0 again. Give me free road match sounds of the Rabbit. Very easy. Free road match sounds of the Rabbit. I'm never hang your hat. Marry the girl, Chaddy. 0 again. So far, Matt Man, I tell you, if I was a math teacher or an economics teacher like Thompson Fountain, you would get what, Thompson? 0, 0, 0. And we want to say, well, the production is brought to you, the kind compliment so far. DG Cell, we running an ad? I hear my voice in the background. I can hear my twin brother.
Let's do
Let's take a stop for the motion segment.
By popular demand, the New York City and the Tri-State. Look out for the grand return of the 13th annual King of Kings Calypso Extravaganza, Saturday, August 20, 2016, at the bigger, better, cooler Rochdale Center, 169-65-137th Avenue, Queens, New York. So Madebu backing, unlimited backing. So Madebu blast, unlimited space. Dominica Promotions presents the record-breaking King Dice, Daddy Chess, Hunter, Scrunter, Observer, Tasha P, Rabbit, Solo, Wizard, Trinata, and Calypso Queen Shanae.
I really love Dominica.
Young Bull, Bob, Cy, Lucas, Professor Pigtail, also Buyo Ambassador Essa Banter.
Anyway, you give it to me, I'll take it.
Backed up by the swinging stands, doors open 9 p.m. Entrance $40 in advance. And get a chance to win a round trip ticket to Dominica plus a World Creole Music Festival season's ticket. Plus 3 free barrel shipments to Dominica.
How did you get there, mister?
Partners include the government of Dominica, QFM, the big station, DBS Radio, Digicel, TNO, Bullseye Pharmacy, Dominica Cargo, USVI, Easy Barrel, Neo Expressions, Tesoto. Call or WhatsApp 1767-225-0625 for more information. The 13th annual King of Kings Calypso Showdown, New York City, the greatest show on earth.
All right, back to what it.
Yes, but just before we actually present the Calypso Queen out of Dominica for 2016, we want to remind you some of our major partners, DJ Cell, the extraordinary network, QFM, a big shout out to Mr. G. And Matt, you could feel the vibes. Your telephone, your 3 cell phones are going off the hook. I know you have 2 DG and some overseas line. Okay, we also have TBS Radio. We also have Dominica News Online, Bullseye Pharmacy, Dominica Cargo, USVI, EZ Barrel. And by the way, we have 3 opportunities for 3 patrons to purchase who purchase your tickets in advance to get your barrel shipped to Dominica absolutely free. Compliments EZ Barrel, and that's Irvin Guy. You know of Irvin Guy?
Yes, I know Irvin Guy.
What
one of the fastest guys.
Okay, you get a little points, Thompson.
Give me 100%.
I want butter, so you're coming up in a while. Okay, and we also have the Big Edge Financial Express. A big shout to Billy Doctrove and Anthony the Doctor of Glenn Ducre Chambers, New Expressions, Eve Green Apartments, Rainbow Rentals. A big shout to Dunkins, to the government of Dominica, and an organization called Sakai Malad Caraib. And by the way, We also giving you an opportunity, if you purchase your tickets in advance, to get a round trip ticket to Dominica. That you could come down to Dominica and make arrangements with Anne-Marie to possibly come down for the festival. And if you do so, we'll give you a season ticket to attend to the World Creole Music Festival. We also want to really endorse that particular project where we intend to do a tribute to the fallen comrade Bupley, and once again our condolences to the brother Maximum Arena, real powerhouse in terms of calypso. And we understood that his son in Dominica presently is almost the carbon copy or photocopy in terms of singing ability. So we are presently trying to pursue having a discussion with him and the mass camp, because we want to make sure that the mass campers are part of the tribute. And we're going to start back from his first song. Matt, does he want me for the last question? His first song was?
If no, just give me 2 seconds. Some of us have to stay alone.
You remember that? You remember where Buple started?
He started with the businesses.
Yeah, the company Calypso Tent.
And of course,
Alex Bruno was part of that.
He sang a line. Some of us just want to listen to Matt Peltier instead of kneeling down and pray.
Okay,
that's a line.
That's a line.
So I'm kicking back there.
Yes, he started to pick up some points, Thompson Fontaine, and that's good. And we really want to do that because it's very important to really, commend the stalwarts, the guys who have really excelled in calypso. He didn't really get the crown apart from the company's monarchy, but he has really been a tremendous force in mass camp and also in Dominica, really making it to the finals and really creating a havoc. So we want to really pay that special tribute, musical tribute, and we would really want the mass campers to take the lead, decide. Bob the King Dice. Already Dice told Anne-Marie he wants to sing which song. That's the final one for you. Dice wants to sing in the tribute.
He told
Anne-Marie he wants to sing one of Buple's songs.
Oh, Pirates.
Not Pirates. One more chance. One more chance.
The
King Dice in New York doing a tribute with which song of Buple?
Air?
Yeah, my brother. That's it. That's it. Dice want to do the King, the undisputed champion, want to do the sound in tribute to his fallen comrade, and we are trying to get this thing in order. So once again, we want to urge you. It's August 20 and the new venue, the brand new location, unlimited parking, and we can house 1,500 patrons. Rochdale Center, 169-65 17th Avenue, Jamaica, Queens, New York City. Admission only $40, and we forget 57 years. By who? 48 karat gold.
48 karat gold by who?
Swinging Stars, man. Bing, Casimir, Philip, Bosford, Daddy Chess at the front, Peter Later, 57 years and sounding better. Swinging Stars will be the backdrop band. You can't ask.
No other band can do that.
No, I mean, the only other band that could do that was Byron Lee and the Dragoners, and they are gone to the wild beyond. So I'm going to now present to you a special lady, and she will be on the Apple, and she will be alongside the only Calypso monarch of Dominica, that's Tasha P. And I want you to really usher her in with that powerful patriotic sound. It gives me great pleasure, live on QFM, to welcome the Calypso Queen of Dominica, Janae.
On holiday in New York City, living in the Bronx, so much stuff people giving me.
Good morning to you, Jeanne. Of course, Thompson Fontaine, Dr. Thompson Fontaine is standing by. We are taking a closer look at the budget. Okay, so stick around and we'll give you more information in a minute here. Jeanne, good morning to you. How you doing?
Good morning, good morning. I'm doing fine, thank you.
All right, looking forward to the big one, August 20?
Most definitely. I mean, it will be my first time going out of state, doing calypso. It's something that I love doing. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
And they're presenting this song.
Definitely. And also, if I get the opportunity to present another song as well.
All right.
Nowhere else I can compare. If we
Jeanne heading to New York.
tell me how she will prosper.
How do you feel, just being on stage with all the great calypsonians from Dominica?
I think it's a humbling experience, to get to be on the stage with people who share your same passion and so forth. And you know, it's just a wonderful thing, and all of us can come together. You feel so comfortable doing
You may be the youngest that night. Do you feel somewhat intimidated?
No, because I don't look at it. It's not a competition.
No,
first
it's
and
not.
foremost. So I'll just go to enjoy myself and just to be in the company of others, you know?
And give it your all.
Give it my best shot.
See how things cheap. He tried to convince me. Everywhere I turn is bright lights and concrete. No mountains, no trees. I can hardly feel any breeze. And the air condition, it making me sneeze. Erica hit, as you know. So uncle, I got to go. So uncle.
How has it been, for you in the Calypso arena? I know it's your first time. And moving forward, you still feel that you want to be part?
I mean, every year brings something new.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, if I get the chance next year, I would like to be a part of it.
Okay.
You don't know what opportunities might arise. I might not be here, you know.
Yes.
But you know,
If you were here.
If I were here, I would like to, you know, be a part of it again. And it was an up and down experience for me because
Right, I know that, yes.
Yes, certain things happened, and
Especially in the final night.
yes, but you know, all in all, it was a good experience for me, and you know, I got to learn a lot from the other Calypsonians, and I've been watching them all the time from the Junior Monarch. So it was nice to finally get up there and be among big guns, you know, and being the youngest and also the only girl in the Calypso finals. That was something amazing to me.
Well, New York will be another, opportunity, if you will, to
Right.
watch.
Yes, definitely.
Watch them close.
Yes.
So you can come better
Better next time.
in 2017. Well, we'll be talking to you, I'm sure, before the 20th.
Right.
So I want to say thank you for coming in this morning, Johnny.
You're most welcome.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I got to go down there, so I take in the plane ride, cause I still got national pride. Yes, uncle, I must go down there, cause I really love Dominica. Nowhere else I can compare. If we all go and leave her, tell me how she will prosper. Before Crispy butcher that song, I must come to sing this one, and I love this country. If I have to suffer, let it be. Whitey Kukuli, my love, my country. Did that wife? Aha!
Inyoti Madam Razad, silte iskino, yali oti doctor, they take 2 tablets every 6 hours. Yali po 6 tablets every 2 hours. Ambulance ki wamasi, iti got chime. When she recovered yodi from no one, you go to Quick Care Pharmacy kote Halsbro. La yoke espiche tout bite bawa. La wive la, idio, you that is Quick Care? Yodi yes ma'am, Quick Care. Ever it have a personalized service. It tell ma satisfy. La if you kaili di mawi, I get dependable, knowledgeable, trustable, and supportable service. Ma we di yes, that is a big table. I gadi avec di Howard Juju ka fe ve mwen. If you no honey, go and take your medicine. Yes, Quick Care Pharmacy kote Halsbro. Service you can trust for all your prescription and over-the-counter drugs. He can, she can, they all can testify about the professionalism and benefits kote Quick Care Pharmacy. Premier fanen in Texas St. Thomas avec di medicine by Quick Care delight all my sickness. It evle di delete. Quick Care Pharmacy kote Halsbro. Telephone 440-8600.
Here, shoppers, are you ready to shop smart? Well, Springfield Trading brings you S-Smart, a new shopping facility located in the Springfield Trading Complex on Goodwill Road. The smart way to shop is with S-Smart. Come and enjoy one-stop S-Smart shopping and get a large selection of quality products at competitive prices in a comfortable and convenient shopping center with spacious parking. Friendly employees, exceptional service. Exceptional service. Flexible shopping hours, 7 days a week with ATM services on site. So be a satisfied, smart shopper. A satisfied customer. Visit us today on Google Road and shop smart now. Smart.
Have no fear? Yay! Summer is here. Let BF Inc. bring fun and cheer.
The youth series, great for you and all the friends of your crew.
There is so much you can do.
Sports and arts, and dance the day long. Public speaking, math, learn to write a song.
So come along and bring a friend. BF Inc. giving you empowerment and more.
July 25th to 30th, 2016. Convent High School. Registration only $125. Registration only $125.
It will enhance the employment numbers, the employment opportunities. It will enhance the businesses, the services which the private sector provides. I mean, contractors will have work, truckers will have work, heavy equipment operators will have a lot of work. And I see a situation where many Dominicans who reside in St. Martin and Antigua and the other islands will come back home, as some of them are already doing, to pick up work in Dominica. You're going to have a lot of work taking place, a lot of jobs and a lot of contracts and so forth, and you're going to require a large number of people to provide those services. So we just have to work together. You know, we can criticize, yes, but let the criticism be constructive. But one will agree that this government is on the right track and doing all of the important things that are required to take us to the next level.
A very optimistic Prime Minister, speaking of the budget and what will follow this financial package come Tuesday. We have Thompson Fontaine, of course, an economist. He has the estimates, and I'm sure the other opposition parliamentarians as well. Thompson, you've had an opportunity to, I mean, not necessarily go through the entire estimate. So what are you gathering? This is an optimistic Prime Minister that says, you know, a lot of jobs, people might have to come home, you know, following the budget. What's your take, Thompson Fontaine?
Well, Matt, good morning to you, of course, and to your many listeners. Thank you for the opportunity to weigh in on the budget. I mean, you know, I don't like to complain, but we got those numbers only yesterday. But let me just start by saying that I don't share the optimism of the Prime Minister, obviously. For one thing, the best predictor of future performance is past behavior. And if past behavior is anything to go by, we've seen that this present government has done very little to create employment. They've done very little to drive the economy. So nothing tells me that anything will be different. What the Prime Minister is alluding to, Matt, is the fact that he now has, according to the budget, at his disposal, an additional $100 million from the sale of passports that he intends to put into the public sector investment program. So all the jobs he's talking about, truckers, etc., these are projects we are seeing being funded by passport money.
But isn't that good?
Matt, this has a pitfall, obviously, and the pitfall is that, and let me be clear, while we welcome increased revenue, one obvious question again is why now? Why these monies that have been collected since 2000 has not been used in that fashion? And obviously, why, the kinds of projects that are being targeted? I believe, Matt, and we keep saying it over and over again, that a substantial amount of more money should have been spent on the agriculture sector. So, for example, when I look at this year's budget, I'm only seeing $25 million going towards agriculture. Okay, so a lot of these monies are going to be spent on other types of projects which may not necessarily contribute to sustainable development. What I would have liked to see is where you have this, basically it's a windfall. A windfall meaning that these are monies that you just would not have had ordinarily. So all of a sudden you have this extra $100 million, so to speak. Where do you put those monies to give you the best bang for your buck? Where do you put these monies to make sure that you can generate as much growth as possible? And in going through the different items, the different items in the public sector investment program, it is just more of the same. There's very little imagination, very little creativity, very little visioning in terms of where these monies go. So the Prime Minister is optimistic. I'm not, and I will wait and see how things evolve. But even then, and if you go back again to past performance, even where the Prime Minister have had the opportunity to hire locals, he's gone overseas. We saw it more recently in the $18 million bridge, West Bridge. The opportunity was there to hire locals, and he went overseas. He gave the jobs to some Bajans. So I'm not confident that because it is the government budget that all of a sudden we'll have our local contractors and so on being employed. We've seen it in the past when road construction is to be done. He goes overseas to the French territories for his builders and so on. So I expect more of the same. I expect more of the same. And but importantly, the whole rate of execution of the PSI is what concerns me, because as we've seen in the past, you've had monies budgeted, but in terms of the execution, you've never had a full execution of the capital budget. As such, you have monies being apportioned to it. Yes, it is voted in Parliament, but the monies do not get spent because you have problems in terms of the way the whole system is set up to make use of those resources. So,
but never before, Thompson, have we gotten full reports as it relates to the passport sales. Why now?
Matt, we still don't have full reports. I'm still questioning those numbers. I still feel those numbers are low. And the reason why I say they're low is because we know that up to 2009-10, we're getting on average about $50 million from the pure sale of passport. Because bear in mind, there were two programs. You have the CIP, Citizens by Investment Program, where investors, you contribute to a particular investment. The investor contributes about $220,000, and the government gets $50,000 from each investor. Then you have the Economic Citizenship Program, where you just sold the passports for $100,000. So up to 2010 to 11, 12, we're getting an average of $50 million. The CIP came on board in late 2014. So for the whole of 2015, according to numbers we got from Eastern Anthem, we had about roughly 800 people who purchased Dominica passports during that single year, 2015-2016. And from these 800,000 people, that gives us on average about $100 million that we should get just from this sale. But what happened to the extra $50 million that we were getting before? Have people stopped buying passports this way and they only now focus on the program? What we would have liked the Prime Minister to do, and which is done in Antigua, in St. Kitts, and in all the other countries, is for the Prime Minister to tell us, well, between July 2015 and June 2016, 800 people got the CIP, is the numbers of their passports, 500 got the ECP program, and this is the number, this is the accounting. We have not seen that kind of clarity, and that is what we're asking for. Beyond that clarity, Matt, the other problem that I have is people are rejoicing, hey, we have an extra $100 million. But to get this $100 million, we have given away $500 million. Bear in mind, $500 million have gone to certain programs. We are told the Kempinski Hotel, and you see what's happening there. People are just moving dirt around. There's nothing serious going on down there in Portsmouth. You have the other program, the Hilton, is supposed to be coming to Salisbury and a food project. So from those three projects that we know of, $500 million have already been collected. But these monies are not within the purview of government. You know, what is done in Antigua, which is a model that Dominica should do well to follow, is that those monies are deposited within government. So the government has control, if you like, of those monies. And when the project is about to start, they release those monies. But now you have individual investors. You have these monies being put into holding companies. And I was asking the question.
You smell a rat?
If yes, not only do I smell a rat, but I'm thinking that as an investor, if I have $300 million in my hand, in cash, right? Would I put that into a hotel in Dominica where you don't have no access for people coming in? Why convert my cash into a fixed asset which may or may not bring returns? So you see the kind of problems that you have there. So there's a lot of problems with this program. And whilst Dominicans, they will say, yeah, forget about everything else, but we need to focus on that. The fact of the matter is, $500 million of Dominica passport money is hanging out there. It's not within the confines of this budget. There's no control by government over these monies. These are monies that go directly towards those projects. And so far we have hotel projects. Which brings me to the most critical part of it, and that is sustainability. So far we've seen the only projects that appear to be able to attract serious investment is hotel projects. How many hotels can we build on Dominica? Will those investors invest into building factories for Dominica? Will they put the money into developing agriculture? I doubt it. So I'm concerned that this thing is not sustainable. So we might get a big boom this year, but 2017, 2018, we might go back to where we were. And that is the concern that I have with this.
All right, 449-3095, 449-3096, and 449-3097. If you are calling on the Diggerson line, 616-4257. Let's talk about the budget. Let's listen to Prime Minister Mr. Skerritt here, Roosevelt Skerritt, as he spoke on Kyrie.
With the budget, I think the budget will be able to address a number of the concerns of the people. We will see a lot of money being spent in the economy, and it will enhance the employment numbers, the employment opportunities. It will enhance the businesses, the services which the private sector provides. I mean, contractors will have work, truckers will have work, heavy equipment operators will have a lot of work. And I see a situation where many Dominicans who reside in St. Martin and Antigua and the other islands will come back home, as some of them are already doing, to pick up work in Dominica. You're going to have a lot of work taking place. A lot of jobs and a lot of contracts and so forth, and you're going to require a large number of people to provide those services. So we just have to work together. You know, we can criticize, yes, but let the criticism be constructive. But one will agree that this government is on the right track and doing all of the important things that are required to take us to the next level.
All right, 8:44. As I said, a very optimistic Prime Minister. On the line with us is the opposition leader, Mr. Lennox Linton. I believe he too may be looking at the estimates as we speak. Mr. Lennox Linton, are you optimistic as the Prime Minister?
Optimistic about what, Matt? Good morning to you, Matt. Good morning to Tom.
Well, Mr. Skerritt is basically suggesting that following the budget, things will look up.
Well, we will hear on Tuesday the policy statement from the Prime Minister, which is how he intends to spend the money that he's seeking parliamentary approval for. The estimates, which is what goes before Parliament, the estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year 2017 goes before the Parliament next Tuesday, and Mr. Skerritt alongside that presents a budget statement, we say a statement of policy, how he intends to deal with this money. And then the Parliament gets a chance to debate the proposals that have been put forward. Remember what happened last year, Matt? The debate of the budget was shut down very prematurely by Mr. Skerritt, with 13 of his ministers not saying a single word on the budget, involving over $300 million for which they had sought and got parliamentary approval, but they had nothing to say about how they were going to spend those monies. One of the targets set in last year's budget was grant funding at $104 million. So the government team satisfied itself that they could raise $100 million from grant funds last year when the budget was presented in July. Remember what happened after July, Matt? We had Tropical Storm Erica in August. And at that point, you would say the rest of the world would be much more sympathetic to Dominica, given the plight, given the necessity, as the government reported, of raising $1.3 billion for national reconstruction and so on. So you would have believed that it would have become easier than it was in July when the target was set and approved to raise that $100 million in grant funding for development work in Dominica after Tropical Storm Erica, because we suffered significant damage. We didn't come back to Parliament with those numbers, you know. We let the whole year run out, and now we are hearing, it is being reported to us that the grant funding performance of the government in 2015-2016 against a budget of $104 million was only $32 million. You heard the figure, Matt?
Yes, I'm listening.
So
32 million.
So grant funding came in at less than 1/3 of the target. In a year when we were asking the rest of the world to be sympathetic to us and to help us out, because we needed $1.3 billion, $1.3 billion to fix our infrastructure. So the performance of this government on the grant funding platform has been woefully short of expectations. And I don't expect Mrs. Skerritt to be talking about that. What Mrs. Skerritt is now telling us, having recognized his failure, and having recognized that the rest of the world is really not listening to him for whatever reason. And we have some idea of what those reasons may be. But the rest of the world is not listening to Roosevelt Skerritt, is not taking Roosevelt Skerritt seriously. And Roosevelt Skerritt needs to get real when he comes on Tuesday to present this budget and the proposals that he has for growing the economy of Dominica. Because the big hot ticket item now, as we read in these estimates, is a massive growth, projected growth in the citizenship revenues. Remember, Matt, we were complaining a couple of years ago that the government had a target of $80 million from economic citizenship in 2014-2015, which was the election year, but only reported $23 million against a budget of $80 million. So they knew, they were confident they could raise $80 million, but they only did $23 million. They didn't explain what happened to us. It was the election year. But they came back, and for this year, 2015-2016, they budgeted $70 million, up from the 23 actual of 2014-2015. You know what the reporting they did this year? Just ended? Any idea?
Any idea of what?
Of what they raised against the target of $70 million? $99 million.
Mm-hmm.
So last year, in the financial year that is just ended, where we had budgeted $70 million, we are reporting $99 million. So from 23 million the previous year, we are up to 99 million for the year just ended. And now, looking ahead to this current fiscal year now, for which we're going to be seeking budgetary approval, parliamentary approval, the target is $201 million. And I'm taking my time with these numbers because I think Dominica needs to get it. 2 years ago, 6% of the government's recurrent revenue, 6%, was coming from citizenship, economic citizenship. In this budget year, that number jumps dramatically to 35%. 35% of our money, recurrent revenue, in this fiscal year is going to come from citizenship, the sale of citizenships. It's more money than international trade on goods and services. It is more money than the taxation on domestic goods and services, the VAT, etc. It is the biggest elephant in the room now, this matter of the citizenship money. And what is interesting about that is that the citizenship money comes to us with certain risks. We're hearing about de-risking. We're hearing about the international financial institutions concerned about anti-money laundering measures, concerned about countering the financing of terrorism, concerned about these matters that have been on the agenda now of the world community since the collapse of the global financial markets in 2008. We are getting money for the sale of citizenships from areas of the world that America and American banks, through which we need to get our US dollars into Dominica, areas from which they're very concerned about. And this de-risking, which means for us that we will lose correspondent banking relations with entities in America, meaning for ordinary people, that you may not be able to go to, a time is coming soon if we don't fix this, when you may not be able to go down to Western Union to get your money that your family sent for you, or you may not be able to go down to MoneyGram, etc. This is what the region is grappling with under the banner called de-risking. It means we, because of these new sources of passport revenue into the economy of Dominica, we have entered an area and are more reliant on an area where the banking system in America is seeing new risks for processing our money that they don't want to take. And they might, as a result of that, pull away from us, as they've started already in some other countries. And so, quite apart from the fact that I find this growth in revenue from citizenship to be astounding in the past couple of years, so that I'm wondering, well, what is it they know now and they're telling us that they didn't know and tell us before? Because people have to understand, there has never been a time in Roosevelt Skerritt's hold on the prime ministership since 2004 when economic citizenship revenue and economic citizenship programs have not been available for him to help him run the affairs of government. All of a sudden, when the evidence becomes clear that the rest of the world is not really listening to us in terms of the mastery that Roosevelt Skerritt claimed with going around and talking to people and having friends here and there that will give him this and give him that, all of a sudden, we are plugging numbers into the budget at the rate of $200 million from the sale of passports per year. Where was that money last year? Where was it the year before? I'm saying we were underreporting. And there's a reason why we were underreporting. We have to get to the bottom of this, because come high or hell water, Dominica needs to know the truth about its economic citizenship money, that it was hoping would have gone into productive sector projects, that it was hoping would have done a better job of lifting the financing, the investment profile in the tourism sector, in the agricultural sector, as Thompson Fontaine is saying, in manufacturing, in the growth engines of this economy in a creative way that really puts us on a platform where the economy is delivering jobs. Mrs. Skerritt is now telling us, oh, there'll be jobs like crazy in Dominica. From what? Where today, Matt, let's take the Kempinski Hotel as an example. And Thompson Fontaine is in studio. He can help us with that. In 2014, we signed a memorandum of understanding, meaning that from February of 2014, the developers of the Kempinski branded hotel in Dominica Range and whoever their citizenship agents are have been collecting $220,000 per investor in the Kempinski project, and side by side with that, putting $50,000 per investor in the Treasury of Dominica. So we're talking $270,000 per investment transaction in the Kempinski brand. That has been going on for 2 years, and we understand that they can have up to 800 investors for that project. If you do the math, you will come up with a figure of $176 million, which is close to $500 million, that they may well have already collected from Passports of Dominica for this Kempinski brand. A hotel which we understand in Portsmouth area is going to cost somewhere in the region of $60 million to construct. So if you only need $60 million to construct it, why do you have the capability of raising, through citizenship by investment, $176 million? And how much of that money have you collected? Remember as well, Matt, in 2015, in February, the Prime Minister went to the Parliament, used his majority in Parliament to violate the government's own land use policy to hive off 15 acres of land in the Cabrits National Park to give it to the range people for the Kempinski brand. That's more than a year ago. So you've had the land for more than a year. You've had the monies collected now for over 2 years. And all we see happening in the location is land clearing. Where is the foundation? Where is the environmental impact assessment to indicate, yes, well, we're ready to do business now? And I keep warning the people of Dominica, economic citizenship is not new. We have had economic citizenship and citizenship by investment, whatever you choose to call it, since the early 1990s. In August this year will be 25 years, the 25th year anniversary of citizenship by investment or economic citizenship in the Commonwealth of Dominica. And to date, we have a lot of citizens over the 25-year period, but we have no investment that is driving jobs, the growth of jobs, that is driving new economic activity, that is earning us foreign exchange, which are the things we said we wanted those citizenship monies to do. So we need to be careful. The lessons of the past are important to what is happening to us right now. We have Layu. We better be careful in Dominica that what is down there in Portsmouth is not another Layu, a replica of Layu, following the blueprint of Layu, where millions and millions and millions of dollars were cheated away from the people of Dominica, and we were left, as the Calypso says, Canada.
Thank you very much, Lennox, for that intervention there. Very, very interesting there. From Lennox Linton, the opposition leader. We're going to take a break. And, of course, Thompson Fontaine is still in the house. I want to talk a little about grant funding here. Only $32 million. What happened to the Baroness and the money that she was supposed to have collected? We're going to come back, Dominica, right after this.
I wake up in the morning. From the Milky Way, a timeless treasure has found its way on every breakfast staple in Dominica. A delightful promise is being kept. And now everybody is drinking Promex. Promex full cream instant milk. Morning by morning, give your family a refreshing start to a productive day. Promex Promex milk. It's pleasingly, teasingly, surprisingly delicious. Blends well with your choice teas, cereals, coffee, or all your family-friendly recipes. Promex, good nutrition all day long. Promex milk, every mother's favorite milk. Taste the moments that take your breath away. Promex, available from AC Shillingford and retailers island-wide. AC Shillingford, where you spend less and get more.
This is it. The 2016 Madame Wabduyet Canada Show, Madame of Madames, is on Saturday, October 1st, 2016 at the St. Peter's and Paul Banquet Hall, 231 Milner Avenue in Toronto, Canada. The best of Dominica's cultural heritage will be showcased as we celebrate Madame Wabduyet Canada's 5th anniversary. The Madame Wabduyet Canada Show, Madame of Madames, will be a fierce contest as past winners and first runner-ups do battle, bringing their experience, flair, and beauty to the stage. But only one can win the title of titles, Madame of Madames. This year's theme, Viva Sissi Coteron, honoring Dominica's cultural advocate, Mabel Alice Sissi Coteron. Come enjoy a delicious dinner and an exciting show. Tickets are only $50. October 1st, the 2016 Madame Wabduyet Canada Cultural Show, Madame of Madames, at the St. Peter's and Paul Banquet Hall, 231 Milner Avenue in Toronto, Canada. See you there.
Versatile entertainment in collaboration with the Cocoye Bar and Grill, Soufriere Dominica presents Nostalgia. Yes, Nostalgia. Featuring C-Squared with the powerhouse, the Booyah Queen and Soca Queen of Dominica, Carlene XP, and Cornell Phillip out of the original Booyah Pioneers. Get ready for C-Squared live at the Cocoye Bar and Grill, Saturday, July 23rd, 2016. Come to the Cocoye for C-Squared, Kublai Promotion, El Dorado Promotion, and more. Come to the Cocoye Bar and Grill. $10 gets you on the inside. It's all about C-Squared, Versatile DJ Trust, and of course, the Danger Dane. Come to the Cocoye from 9 p.m. till. It's all about nostalgia, featuring C-Squared, Carlene XP, Cornell Phillip, and so much more. Come to the Cocoye Bar and Grill, Soufriere Dominica. This event is supported by Digicel, Kublai Beer, El Dorado Rum, Belfast Estate, and of course, Versatile Entertainment.
We're back. Thompson Funk-Tick, the question, only $32 million?
Matt, this is hugely surprising because you remember about a month or so, probably a month, 2 months after Erika, that's the number we were given, right? So that means absolutely nothing was collected for the rest of the year.
So what happened with all the, if you will, the optimism expressed at the time about Baroness Scotland collecting on behalf
of the country? Apparently she did not collect anything because that $42 million was there very early on. So Matt, what that tells me is that the rest of the world has abandoned Dominica. The rest of the world has no confidence in this government. The rest of the world is certainly not putting the money into Dominica. And that is why I fear for the state of this country. And if I was working in St. Martin at this time, I would not be too quick to pack up my bags and come to Dominica. Because let me warn you, Matt, this is not sustainable. As I indicated, the whole premise of the CIP, this is my investment program, it is based on the fact that people will invest in hotels in Dominica. There is a limit to that investment. There is a limit to which people want to put the money in. And as of now, you have competition from Antigua, from St. Kitts, from Grenada. It's just not going to happen.
9:04, some news just coming in here. It reads, the gods of Melville Hall Airport have just denied my son, Enrique L. Charles, access to the airport with 2 passengers. According to him, while he was being denied access, other ordinary buses were allowed to enter, thus concluding that this entire charade is targeted. Could it be that they are burning down the house to kill a rat? That is not there at all. You know, the rules at Melville Hall actually changes today. In terms of, you need to get a permit as a bus driver who's not licensed to enter the airport. And, this person is reporting that his son, I think is the son of Lambert Charles. So maybe Lambert Charles is one of the targets.
It seems that way to me, for sure.
Okay, 905-449-3095, 449-3096. Let's take a few phone calls, and you can ask your questions directly to economist Dr. Thompson Fontaine. Hello.
Hey, good morning, Matt.
Morning to you.
Good morning, Dr. Fontaine.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, Matt, to voice a little thing on this budget that we're hearing about. Matt, when I listen to what you played from the Prime Minister, in a real country, this year, it's that type of optimism that he's talking about would be or should be expected. And why do I say this? Now, I must add, I don't believe him, but this would ordinarily be the case, because when you think this is about a year after Erica, when we were told by the Prime Minister himself we needed $1.3 billion. That's $1,300 million. $1.3 billion to reconstruct, to take care, to try and just get to where we used to be. These are matters that have to be done. So when you think about that, and you think of, we were supposed to have gotten a lot of money from all over the world. So if one reasonably say, well, listen, let us say if we could even implement 300 million of that 1.3 billion this year, because they would have taken some time to collect, so that it's a year now. If 300 million would have come just to go to that from that 1.3 billion, then we're hearing public sector investment projects, as he said, another 100 million coming from the passport. Right there, we are talking in the vicinity of 400 million in public sector, new public sector investment could a reasonable person could expect to be taking place in this financial year. Now, if this were to be true, then in fact, what the Prime Minister is suggesting, that's the type of stuff, because the type of construction and so on that would be taking place at a local level, realistically, with our present workforce, we would need that type of stuff. But you know what, my brother? It is nice to talk about it. As I said before, in a real country, this is what we should be expecting. But because this is not a real country, I asked Dr. Fontaine to tell us, how is this going to happen? Thank you.
Yes, Martin, I mean, this is the concern that we have. The government, it's okay for the Prime Minister to throw numbers around the place, but it's the whole question of implementation. And also bear in mind that we've had a PSIP program now for as long as government has been in existence. And in terms of the fulfillment rate, in terms of the amount of projects they've been able to execute, it has not been very promising. So this false optimism, Matt, listen, in order, and I keep telling the Prime Minister this, and I hope he's listening this morning, in order for you to drive this economy, you must put, and I'll say it as slowly and as deliberately as possible, in order to get this economy up and running, you must put a large amount of resources into the agriculture sector. How many years has the Prime Minister promised the boat? Couldn't they have found some of this money to buy the boat finally for the farmers of Dominica to gain access? The markets are there. What we need is access to those markets. What you need is a kind of a subsidy program for the farmers to be able to grow those crops and sell them. You need to put those in place, and that is what we need. That is how you're going to start driving this economy along with construction. But it cannot be that you have all of these projects lined up and you're now saying, oh, truckers will get work and so on. This is temporary. We need something that is sustainable. We need something that when you do it, it sets the foundation to make money for years to come. And he simply is not getting this. And this man has been finance minister for how many years? 16 years. And he still does not get the basics of what we've been trying to say.
Let's take another phone call. Hello. Good morning. Nobody there. Hello. Hello.
I say praises, thanks, blessings, and glory to all those with humanity. Mr. Pelty, blessings in your family, sir.
My brother.
Blessings. Doc, blessings in your family, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
All right. I really can't tell all your parts. I don't know which one is. Anyway, let us leave that at that. Mr. Pelty.
Yes.
And Dr. Fountain, I am listening, and I have listened and observing the madness that is happening for years. I'm no economist. I know nothing, very little. But I have a lot to say. I am saying, my brother, when I look at the whole thing, I do not think Skerrit is incapable of, having the economy buoyant, floating, things working. I think the brother is mischievous, the brother is cruel, the brother is wicked, and I think it is at his advantage to have the economy in the way in which it is, because it's all something more sinister to control the people when the people are that poor. And it seems like every dictator is, while the country is at the worst of it, when they have more power, and they never want to come out there without they die or something happens. They don't want to come out there. So I am saying, Doc, for years on that same medium, on Q95, I said Venezuela and Libya. What if something suddenly happens and they crash? What we are going to fall back on? We have had the lessons of England, once was our motherland, then America. Yeah, it was, hey, America, America. Then it comes down to Venezuela. No more Venezuela. Look at what is happening to Venezuela. And now it's China. China is in trouble in the South China Sea, building land, making trouble. If something bursts out, then what is going to happen? And Doc talk about agriculture. Doc, I think it's 20 million this is for agriculture.
25 million.
25 million.
25.
I just have to laugh. I just have to laugh. And I am saying, Doc, is it an impossibility, a question, in the manner which things are going, that Dominica end up just like Venezuela, or even worse, Doc? Because the way things are going, it is a rapid progression, I would say, in the destruction of this blessed land, and the economy is not being untouched. So, Doc, is it an impossibility? I'm listening. Thanks.
No, it's not an impossibility. In fact, if we do not take corrective measures now, we are going to end up the exact same place. Listen, the international community, apparently, for whatever reason, are no longer supporting Dominica with grant financing. That much is certain. We're no longer getting the kind of grants. We've moved from $150 million just a few years ago to $32 million last year. They are not in the habit or in the business of supporting this country. We have not been able to expand our domestic tax base, which is where the sustainable effort is, by growing your VAT, by growing your income taxes, by growing your corporation taxes. None of that.
What has happened to VAT?
VAT is flat on its face. VAT is flat, and VAT reflects the economy. If the economy is improving, the VAT collections are going to be going up. But if you look at the projections up to 2017-18, it is flat. They're showing zero growth in the VAT revenue. So the economy is not growing. You have to find a way to grow the economy to begin that sustainability that we're talking about. Where we have a case of relying upon investments in a few hotels, giving away $500 million to make $100 million to invest in a few hotels, this is not sustainable. This CIP program is going to be out of existence. And Matt, Mr. Linton raised a very critical point there about the de-risking and the whole banking sector. Remember, I was in a program some time ago and we called it out. I told you that we're going to come back to a place where you're going to have to be putting money in envelopes to send to your family in Dominica. We are quickly approaching this place because the international community, the US in particular, is not happy with the level of resources, the kind of monies that is swishing around in banks accounts in the Caribbean, and they're taking measures against it. And Dominica might very well suffer as a result of that.
Hello, another phone call, line 14.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Matt, you know it's interesting because Venezuela has oil, and look at the situation they found themselves in. It is highly probable. And then you have Mr. Skerritt, or their Prime Minister, sometimes referring to the Americans as imperialists. I'd like Mr. Fountain to tell us what would happen to the Eastern Caribbean dollar if America unhinged it from the US dollar. Good morning.
That's a very good question. I know, Doctor, that's you know, where you did your papers on for your thesis on the Eastern Caribbean dollar.
Matt, yeah, this is something I don't even want to contemplate. But the fact of the matter is the delinking would have to come from the central bank, our central bank. We would have to take that decision to unpeg or to remove this fixed rate between the US dollar and the EC dollar. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, people like to misquote me, I'm not saying it's going to happen. If in the event we get to the point where we allow, as I say, to allow the currency to float, right now it is fixed, it is tied at 270 to 1 US dollar. If that peg is removed and you allow the currency to float, then the strength of the currency becomes a function of the economies. So as if your economies are strong, then your currency will remain strong. If your economy is weak, then the currency will have some serious problems. And I suspect the latter.
Hello, talk to me.
Good morning, Matt.
Yes.
And good morning to Dr. Thompson. I heard the honorable leader of the opposition this morning. And I can tell you that's what responsible opposition men do. They educate and inform. So very good work, dear brothers. Now, Dr. Thompson, we've spoken a lot about the citizenship by investment. But I want to know, with all that money being accrued with respect to the selling the passport, can you link any other programs, like any hard investment, real investment, things we can be tangible investment? Can you link any of these under this government? Because I haven't seen any like that. And Matt, interestingly, as we speak here, we have not had a wind storm in recent years. I mean, since 2007, hurricane didn't struck Dominica on the 17th of August, 2007. That's when I know the last windstorm we've had. I mean, Erica came but without wind. And Matt, I can understand how you have bananas cannot be exported to the UK. Matt, so what happened? Hurricane Labour Party we have now, man. Matt, that is Hurricane Labour Party. After all that money's been accrued by selling passports, we're not seeing it. We're not seeing red investment coming on. We're not seeing anything happening. Agriculture is down. Farmers' bananas ripening on tree. You have new transport being purchased from BAM, but bananas ripening on tree. BAM has transport from lane, all over the place. New transport, new Toyota. Nothing wrong in buying new vehicles to facilitate movement and supervision. But what are you supervising? The main thing under the BAM is bananas, and bananas ripening on tree. What is this government doing? I mean, we have to get serious in this country. I mean, under Patrick John, we have had bananas. Right down to where they sit them under PHL. Roosevelt Kerry kill bananas. After 50 years, he killed bananas. Matt, have a good morning. Thank you very much.
Have a good morning,
Matt, and as the caller said, that's why, I am really skeptical of the intentions of the Prime Minister. When you think that last financial year, he only invested $8 million in agriculture. $8 million. And you put in $18 million into a bridge. It is mind-boggling the way those priorities are set in Dominica, and the way you apportion the money. And the caller was asking about link to tangible projects. What we've seen in the past is that the passport money has been used to finance recurrent spending. It has not been placed into any significant projects that can become sustainable and make money.
We're taking more phone calls. Hello. Good morning. Are you there? No. Hello.
Matt,
Yeah.
we have a grotto home that can't be finished, and Mr. Skerritt loves people so much. Thank you.
The elderly. Hello. Talk to me.
Yeah, Matt, I was just about to make the same point Mr. Fountain made. Dr. Fountain made when he said that, you're spending $18 million on one bridge, Matt, out of the many bridges that are still has gone down the sea, and you spend only $8 million on agriculture. Matt, the public works department, I have carried boasting about work, having to people who come from St. Martin and other places But there's a public works department that cannot even go to a hardware and buy a screw. They cannot afford to buy a screw. Nobody will take their LPO. He has staff that he sent home July 12th of 2015 and has not recalled them, nor has he paid them or made them redundant, and they're just hanging in there with all the frustration. Matt, what is wrong with Dominica and Dominicans? It's not so much scary, it is what we accept, my brother. Something seems to be wrong with us, not scary. People cannot, all this things can be happening and people just sit down complacent. Nobody cares. You know, they say all shall eat now. Some eating all, very few eating all now, Matt. I'm listening.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much.
Yes.
9:20, yes.
Yes, Matt, good morning.
Uh-huh.
I just want to say two things quickly, Matt. And the first one is, I need a favor from you to ask, because recently I heard the Prime Minister saying that the Chinese are responsible for our security. So I would like you to ask him to at